Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing good. So let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. Gonna give it about 3 minutes and then we'll get started. It's gonna be a great live stream. We're gonna go over everything that's happened in the market over the past week, where I think Bitcoin is going from here, and some big news items that we can cover as well. Perfect. What's going on? Solid, Nikolai, Tim, Sparakos, J Money, Dat Boy. Good to see you guys. Hope you guys are liking this stream time a little bit better. Again, like I mentioned in the Telegram, this time was the most popular, so figured I would at least do the second live stream at this time and then see how much participation that we do get. Good to see Mirza, Aculite, Brian, Christian, James, Doolin. A lot of good people. Mohammed, Tahavsar, Alex. Awesome. What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are having a great day wherever you're at, day or night, depending where you're at in the world. Tales of Varinkness, good to see you. SB, good to see you. Mark says it's 2:04 a.m. here. Is this live stream time permanent? So, Mark, I may do this live stream an hour earlier in the future. It's going to be between an hour earlier or this time. Sometimes I may do it later. It just depends, right? For the paid group, I'll do emergency meetings, like emergency live streams if there's any big event. So that could be, it could be 8 hours later, 9 hours later from now, just whenever. So it's going to be flexible. But yeah, for this weekly, for the free group, most likely this time or an hour prior. But these streams are recorded, so you guys will definitely be able to see these. Just go to my YouTube channel, subscribe if you haven't, and you go to my live tab, and you'll be able to see all the live streams that I'm recording. So gonna get about 60 more seconds and then we will get started. Again, guys, appreciate all of you coming and watching. Please like this stream if you like it. It's gonna help spread my channel to the masses, help spread this stream out to those that need it, because you know that I give no BS crypto data that is useful to everyone. So I don't sugarcoat anything. I try to give you guys the best data I can and show you exactly what I'm looking at in the crypto space. So I try to help everyone as much as possible, because we're all in here to make a profit, right? So why not help as many people as you can? Ed says, perfect time for stream, 8 p.m. in Sweden. Nice. James says, time is money. Absolutely. Nikolai, still struggling to find a way to make $100 to get back trading. Online surveys earn me $10 an hour. Yeah, the online surveys, I mean, they're free, right? They're free. You can do them. It takes some time. Obviously, it's tedious, but at the end of the day, do what you can with that. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get this stream started. Again, if you guys have any questions, I'll answer them after I cover a few things in the stream, and I'll just go back and forth between the questions and the stream. But it's going to be a great stream, so definitely, guys, make sure you guys are tuned in for the entirety. Now, first, looking at the 24-hour liquidation. So 219 million. It's roughly split between longs and shorts. As you know, Bitcoin had a nice little pump today. So it's at 115.4K. So in my opinion, I think it's going to go a lot higher. I'll probably make some more long calls in the near future today. So I think the market is going to do very, very well, especially because that August 8th date is coming up. But again, nothing crazy with the 24-hour liquidations. Now, looking at the liquidation heat map. So you can see Bitcoin took liquidity to the upside. We still have some liquidity down here at 113K. So could it tag that? Yes, it could. If we look at the 1 week heat map, let's see where liquidity is at on there. So with the 1 week liquidity heat map, you can see there's still some at 116.5K. So it looks like Bitcoin is probably going to go tag that. Now there's some towards the bottom, but that's 111.8K, and it's not as concentrated. You can see here on the right side, it's just a little visualization of how much liquidity there is. And you can see there's much, much more to the upside here in the green. So at least I could see us pump up to 116.5K. So like I said, good to see with Bitcoin on that front. Now, next. Also, if you guys, whoever's watching, if you aren't following me on X, definitely do so at the CryptoData. I try to give you guys the best content I can, post as many useful updates, and I even post little lifestyle updates as well, quotes, all that good stuff, so that I cover the whole facet, not just crypto, but crypto and healthy lifestyle with some motivational quotes sprinkled in. So I think it's going to help a lot of good people. Now, also looking at some of the news items. So let's go to Watch Your Guru. He's a great guy that publishes a lot of good crypto updates. Definitely give him a follow if you aren't. A lot of people follow him for the latest news. But let's go scroll down to Sunday. All right, let's actually scroll down to Monday. So be August 3rd around here, August 4th. But here, some big things that have happened is you have the White House preparing an executive order to fine banks that discriminate against crypto companies and conservatives. So this is going to be even better for easing that regulation on crypto, right? That's going to help increase that adoption. So the White House is definitely going all in with preparing these executive orders. Also, you have Coinbase enabling PayPal integration for Canadian users to buy and sell crypto. Any Canadians in here? Let me know in the chat. Love my Canadians. Good to see at least PayPal is helping to integrate with you guys to buy and sell crypto. So again, more adoption. You also have Goldman Sachs, who's expecting the Federal Reserve to begin cutting interest rates in September. Remember, guys, I posted on my X account, I said, it's basically a guarantee now that the Fed's going to cut interest rates. And if you look at Polymarket, it's about a 75 to 80% chance that they're going to cut. And so this will be front ran in the very near future. I guarantee you guys. And technically, it's already starting right now. Like, we are starting this front run. So keep that in mind. Any dips that happen in the foreseeable future I've posted is going to be for buying. So make sure that you are on that. J Money says, Canadian right here. Awesome, J Money. I hope to visit Canada soon. Looks like an awesome place. We also have OpenAI officially releasing their first open source LLM GPT OSS. This is good because this could help accelerate the AI narrative again. Remember, if you guys remember the AI narrative that happened last year, guys, it was crazy, right? Anytime you have AI being one of the main catalysts, a lot of AI tokens pump multiples, like especially the low caps. You see those things pump 2, 5, 10x or more. And so if we can get an AI narrative going again, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a lot of gains to be made. So definitely keep an eye on that. Also, you have the SEC declaring crypto liquid staking activities not considered securities. So this is great as well. Again, helping increase adoption. Then also you had Trump saying 4 people are being considered to replace Jerome Powell as the Federal Reserve Chair. So this is just another bullish catalyst. I don't know if he's going to replace Powell right now. I doubt it. But the fact that he's even considering other people to replace him, that's good nonetheless. Powell's term isn't up until May 2026, so we may have to wait a little bit. But nonetheless, if Trump ends up replacing him, then that'll be very, very bullish short term for the markets. And then also you have Trump imposing more tariffs. So you can see he signs an executive order imposing an additional 25% tariff on India for buying sanctioned Russian oil. So he's really trying to pressure India and Russia here. So interesting to see how that works out. And then here you have Dubai officially approving the first crypto options license. This is big too, guys. Again, Dubai is mainly the crypto hub of the world. And so I know the United States wants to be the crypto capital of the world, but until they have no capital gains tax on cryptocurrency, Dubai is going to remain that king. So Dubai approving the first crypto options license, that's going to be big too. It's going to cause more investors to flow over to crypto, especially those options investors that are in the TradFi space. So something great to see on there. Now, let's go ahead and look at some questions, guys, and then we'll go over the S&P, gold, oil futures, and a few others, the DXY as well. So let's see what comments we have in here. And again, guys, we got 81 viewers in here, only 18 likes. If you guys could like the stream, that'd be awesome. I really, really appreciate it. Let's see. Quizmonk says, hey, CD, hope you're doing great. My G, let's go. Hey, appreciate you, Quizmonk. Hope you're doing good as well. David says, love your work as always. Hey, love you, David. Appreciate it. Nikolai says, let's see, do you think selling Belmar exclusive and deleted data sets is a good idea? You know, I mean, I get game is game at the end of the day. I mean, if it's deleted data sets, then he wants to keep those deleted. So I wouldn't sell the deleted ones or even exclusive. Like, it's, you know, he's having that content for specific people. So I don't think I would do that. I mean, is it a good business model? Yeah, you could probably earn some money on it. But at the end of the day, it's not morally the best. So just kind of weigh those options there. Eswar, let's go. It's 11:30 p.m., but can do it a bit early. Nice, Eswar. Good to see. Junior, what's going on? James says BTC might have a small pump, low-key. Exactly, James. That's what I'm looking at. 100%, at least to 116.5K. Raphael, how are you, G? Hey, I'm doing good, Raphael. Appreciate you. I'm actually, guys, funny story. I'm actually starting a 48-hour water fast right now. Like, I'm currently in it. It's only been about, 15 hours so far? But yeah, I'm doing the 48-hour at least because I've heard there's a lot of spiritual growth with that, and it helps you think clearly and focus better. So I recommend everyone here at least do a 24-hour water fast. There's a lot of good things. Your body actually starts cleaning out your cells after about 16, 17 hours. So it goes through autophagy. So look that up, the benefits of water fasting, guys. A lot of good stuff. Let's see. Junior says BTC call is rocketing. Yes, Junior. BTC call is doing good. Ehob says, yo, should we still wait for dips? You know, Ehob, like, any dips that happen, I'd be buying it. But, man, I don't know if we're going to get them now. Like, I was expecting maybe one last flush, but I don't think it's going to happen, honestly, guys. Like, I think we're basically going all in here for the upside. So I'm going to start calling some more longs. Eswar, why do you think the market is pumping like crazy? Any bullish catalyst? Yeah, Eswar, so August 8th, right? A lot of stuff coming up August 8th. So check my post on that on X, and you'll see why. I also posted a market update in my free Telegram group. Anyone who's not in, check the description as well, and you can see the Telegram group link there. And then pay group is coming soon as well, guys. Stay tuned for that. Victor, good time for the stream. Just got done with lunch. I was expecting CryptoData snacking on a Prima protein bar. Victor, honestly, I would be right now. I would be if I wasn't doing this fast. 100%. That's too funny. As for also, can you give us price targets to long, Sol, and ETH since we missed entries on both of them? Price targets for ETH 36.30 and then Solana 165. Mark, will you have a concierge in your premium? Also, where did you announce your premium? I couldn't find it. Yeah, Mark, no problem. So the premium, I haven't announced it yet. I've been announcing it like in my voice chats and in my market updates here and there. So it's been something that I announced actually mid-July that I was going to launch a premium group. And so unfortunately, it's just been delayed because I've been getting more features for it and all of that. Mark saying, will I have a concierge? Yes, I'm going to hire a team. I'm going to hire a team to help answer you guys' questions in the premium, since I won't be able to answer everyone's questions all the time, but I'm going to have some smart people I'm going to hire, and they'll be able to answer your questions for you guys. So it's going to be a lot of good stuff. I'll answer questions as well, but I'm going to have a team helping me 100%, and like customer service and all that good stuff. James, I feel like Bitcoin will go for one more pullback before it jumps. If it does, you better buy as much as you can when it does. Philip, long time no see. Hello there. Hey, good to see you, Philip. Good to see you as always. Aaron, hey, any thoughts on the abstract eco? Feels like kind of like base chain is in its early stages, like Newton, Abstract, Dex Screener. Yeah, Aaron. So the abstract eco definitely has an opportunity to pump. So I know that Gooner is a good coin that's been doing fairly well. So that's another one added, like you said, with Newt, and Abster. So as long, Lucas says that Q4 is going to be big for Pudgy Penguins, and Abstract is the Pudgy Penguin chain. And so I strongly do believe that Abstract could do well, but again, it's going to take some time, right? It may have a little cool off period for another month or two, but then Q4, I feel like it's going to be fairly big. As far as says, AI sector is going to go crazy after the OpenAI news with the Fed. Yeah, definitely. Murzo would love to know if you're buying the virtuals dip. So I'm not buying any virtuals. I would look at Ray though, REI on base. That's, in my opinion, one of the best AI tokens. And then, guys, I also mentioned Codec, CODEC. For anyone who listened to my voice note in my free Telegram group last night, I said, Codec is a good buy. I'm in that coin. Right now, it's around 19, 20 mil. And then I mentioned that. Now, today, Codec is at 25 mil and nearly into 26, nearly 20% increase overnight. So my voice notes, guys, make sure you listen to those in its entirety. Sometimes I'll post 10-minute ones. Sometimes they're 20-minute, but it's always value. I never just talk about random BS. It's always value, guys. That's why I try to provide. I know everyone's time is valuable here, so I don't like to waste it. J Money says, lots of great places up here in Canada. Oh, I want to see it. Canada's a beautiful place. Can't wait to go there. Stanley, how to know when to take profits? Are there specific websites, charts, or indicators that can indicate this and we can use? So Stanley, I usually do profits at major resistance levels. So like you could do major resistance on the 4-hour, daily, or weekly time frames. That's when I layer out my profits. If you don't know how to use or how to draw support and resistance levels, you can go to the Gym Hunters YouTube channel, search on the live tab, and then I have the technical analysis basics video. It's like the third video from the bottom. You can also look at that too. There's a lot of good ones on YouTube as well. Nikolai, as a little country there, what country is that? I'm drawing a blank. Is that Mexico? I'm drawing a blank on that flag. James, yeah, unfortunately, I live in Canada. It's a beautiful country, just that politics have ruined it. Yeah, politics always get into every country, right? They always infiltrate some part of it, which is unfortunate. Stanley, should you sell all coins during a bull market or just keep and hold some of them like the best? So, yeah, I mean, during a bull market, you should definitely sell a majority of your coins, like especially towards, you know, the all-time highs, the euphoric periods. You could keep like 10, 20% of them for long term, like if you're literally holding them for 5, 10 years. But usually you should sell most of them and stable up and then just keep a very small percentage. Mirza says, do you think September and October will be a bullish as well? I don't think September. I think September is going to be bearish. August will be bullish. September will be bearish. And then first half of October will probably be bearish. And then rest of Q4 should be bullish. Ed says, got to feel sorry for Powell at this point. Yeah, right. He's just in a rock and a hard place. But he should cut rates now because the job reports numbers were weak. And that's really what he was waiting for, to cut rates. So we will leave it on Ed. And then I'm going to go over some more of the stream. And then we'll answer some more questions. So again, guys, appreciate all the likes. Got 35 likes, 79 viewers. If you could like the stream, that definitely help out. Definitely help spread the channel to the masses. All right, let's go over the S&P gold futures and dollar index. So S&P today still 63.45, still looking to get closer to those all-time highs. RSI is crossing to the upside. Great to see there. Still showing a lot of strength on the weekly. If you're thinking of buying S&P, I would do 6,100 and 6,000. Good support levels there. Gold being a little stagnant. Again, that's what we want to see because gold is used against the hedge against inflation, a hedge against uncertainty. So the more it stagnates, the better it is for risk on assets, right? That's definitely what you want to see. Also, we have oil futures, 64. Nice. Between that 60 to 70 level, that's what's exactly what you want to see. Because we have oil futures rise too much, you're going to have an increased transportation cost, higher chance of inflation, all that good stuff. So good to see it's within this range. And then finally, the dollar index is curving to the downside on the RSI. That's what you want to see as well because the DXY and Bitcoin are inversely correlated. So that means if the DXY goes down, Bitcoin's going up. So good to see that now the DXY is actually close to breaking below the support around 98.20. So could be a nice little run on Bitcoin soon. Like I said, guys, I think Bitcoin's going to rip very, very soon. So probably going to make some more long calls fairly soon as well. And also, let's go over the crypto market overview. So what are coins doing right now? Well, Bitcoin's 115.4K. Ethereum's 3666. Guys, Ethereum may be a good long soon. Like 3630, if you can get it, I'm most likely going to call long there. I'm like 90% sure I'm going to call long at 3630 now. Just seeing how Bitcoin's been performing, and Ethereum is kind of lagging a little bit. So also you have XRP up 0.6%. Top gainers, Chronos 7%, Pudgy Penguin 6%. So Pudgy's still doing very good. Matic has been doing very good recently. Have a nice little run. And then SPX is one of the strongest meme coins, up 4%. Pepe's up 3.5%. Great to see. And then Curve DAO is doing good as well. And you can see here, Pump Fun has actually been still outperforming. I mean, funny enough, that coin was dumping while everything was pumping. Now it's actually catching up. So interesting to see on that point. And then also MemeFi up 150%, guys. There's still a lot of opportunities in the market. So definitely don't fade them. There's going to be a lot more opportunities in the future as well. So keep that in mind. Next, let's look at those on-chain flows. Where is the on-chain data going? TVL, total value locked. Is money going on-chain or off-chain? Well, it looks like for Ethereum, it's going on-chain, up 0.57% versus yesterday, while Solana is negative 1.1%. So it shows the Ethereum network is still outperforming. And then you have the base network up 0.14%, Hyperliquid 0.22%. So again, good for Ethereum. Ethereum L2s are still performing very strong. Always look for Ethereum betas. Those are also going to be a good little catalyst there. Now, also for the Fear and Greed Index, it is at 52 still. Surprising. It's been at 52 for a while now. I'm assuming this is going to update fairly soon. Let me go ahead and refresh the page just in case. All right, so it's at 52 right now. And this is great because when it's in neutral, it means there's still a lot of more room to the upside, right? And so this means that, in my opinion, once we get back into the greed area, we'll stay there for another few weeks until the end of August, most likely. So that's going to be a nice little pump in the market. Like I said, guys, August 8th is going to be huge pumps. For anyone who doesn't know why, I'll go over it in a minute, but there's so many catalysts around the August 8th date, in a few days. So definitely keep that in mind. And finally here, over the Bitcoin monthly returns, August is now negative 0.35%, so very close to turning green. I believe it will be green because you look at 2013, it was green, 2017, it was green, 2020 and 2021 is green. So guys, August is going to turn green this year, especially because we've been emulating these seasonality years very closely. So it's only a matter of time now before we flip to the green side. Now, let me real quick answer a text message I got. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Almost done, guys. All right. Okay, so next, let's go over ETF flows. So yesterday we had 196 million of outflows for Bitcoin. Look at these 4 days of consecutive outflows. Now, just a hunch, but I do think we're going to have inflows today. I do think that inflows are going to happen. And because at this point, when you have consecutive days of outflows like this for institutions, guys, it means the bottom is near. And that's what I want to stress to people is whenever we have this huge outflow day, 812 million, anytime we have this large of outflows, it marks the local bottom. And if you look at the date, August 1st, that was near the local bottom. So just keep that in mind. You can use these ETF flows as a little hack. And it's far side investors. That's the ETF flows that I look at. So like I said, 4 days in a row of outflows, most likely going to be inflows today, especially with the bounce on Bitcoin that we had. Like I said, Bitcoin is very close to a run. But something interesting I want to point out is while we had negative 196 million of outflows yesterday, today we had 73 million of inflows on Ethereum. Or yesterday we had 73 million of inflows. So that shows you that institutions are still favoring Ethereum over Bitcoin, funny enough. So that's why I said Ethereum could be a good long very soon, guys. 3630, if you can get that long, very good entry, very good support. Below there, around 3,500 would be the next area to DCA. So keep an eye on that. Now, looking at some charts, let me go ahead and look at some questions real quick, and then I will cover the charts here. So let me bring over some more questions real quick. Again, guys, 81 viewers, 40 likes. If we get some more likes on the stream, that would help out a lot, help spread this to the masses. Also, subscribe if you guys haven't. Really appreciate all the subscribers. All right, so answering some questions. We did end off on Ed. Let me see. Let me see if I can find... Okay, here we go. Finished off on Ed. So Jay Money says, let's see, unfortunately, I have to agree. Yep, with the politics getting into every country. Stanley says, is it smart to sell Bitcoin at the top and wait to buy back more at the bottom? Or is it practically not smart because of supply shock or other factors? So it depends, right? It depends. If we're talking about now, I mean, if you haven't secured profit since last cycle, depending where you bought at, right? But at the end of the day, we're still in the bull market, so I'd probably still hold Bitcoin. I don't think I would sell it just yet, but you probably should sell some towards the end of October or end of Q4 at the very least. So that would be something, because a lot of times people will hold for too long and they'll hold past the top. So I recommend selling incrementally, especially depending how early that you bought it at. And then you have Pollo Loco saying, why do you say bullish short term? If Trump replaces Powell and if Powell resigns, would it be bullish in long term? So it's just that if Trump has his way with everything with the Fed chair, then it may be a little bad, right? Because depending, because he cares about making the economy look good. So it's not necessarily an unbiased opinion, right? He's going to hire someone that aligns with his views. So depending, I mean, it could be good long term, but it's just what policies he's going to implement. Is he going to implement them too soon, not soon enough? Again, there's all kinds of things. So that's why people are saying it may be bad long term, but good short term. So we'll have to see, right? I mean, it could be good long term. I'm just saying from what I've seen. Ashay says, I read tariffs going official on the 7th August. Is it true? I'll have to double check on that, actually. I'll have to double check on that just to make sure. Jen says, love you, John. Hey, love you too, Jen. Always appreciate the kind words, guys. It means a lot. Finance Compass says, hey, Data, you saw Mike's finance and it pumped 10x already? Yeah, that was insane, that pump on MYX. Crazy pump. Tim, how do you determine if a dev team of a token is promising to invest in? Well, that's the $1 million question, right? Because there's so many rugs nowadays. I would just look at if you can track smart wallets. I would also look at mutual follows, so there's any reputable influencers following them or reputable accounts following them. And then also, how's their social media activity? Are they active on X, active on Discord, active on Telegram? It's just a full picture thing. So you need to look at all that stuff to form a proper thesis. But yeah, I mean, early on, it's nearly impossible to tell. SB, should I hold Sui? I think Sui's good. So are we still expecting 112K on Bitcoin and 3,500 on ETH? So I still have my limit orders placed near 112K and 111K on Bitcoin, right? And so we'll have to see what happens with that. But it's hard to say if those are going to get hit or not. So watch that as well. I have multiple accounts on that waiting for those entries. Let's see. All right. All right, Rana said water fast. Wow, yeah. Yeah, doing some water fast. So we'll have to see. Like I said, it's going to be good. I recommend everyone does at least a day or two water fast. It's definitely good for the body. Then 3,500 ETH. I think ETH is going to do 3,630. I don't know if it's going to hit 3,500 though. Mirza, are you doing the 48 water fast right now because of Lionsgate? You know, that's part of the reason why. Yes. Yes. And Mirza, I like that you mentioned Lionsgate. So Lionsgate is August 8th, and 8/8 is a very important day for manifestation and spiritual growth. And anyone who meditates, which I recommend everyone should, and anyone who's religious, which I recommend everyone should have some type of religion, that you meditate on August 8th and it will be much more powerful because the Lionsgate portal is open and it's at the peak on that day. And so from what I've been reading, there's a lot of good things that can happen. So definitely something to consider. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, search up Lionsgate, search up August 8th significance, and you'll see a lot on numerology and various things. So yes, Mirza, that's definitely one of the reasons. Nikolai says it's deleted live streams from a few years ago and some Google Docs with books, recommendations, and exclusive emails. Nikolai, I mean, you know, if you think he'd be fine with it, and if you think it'll provide value to other people, then yeah, potentially you could do that. I mean, it earns some extra money, right? But as long as it doesn't contain any of like his sensitive information and all that stuff, then yeah, it may not be the worst to help people with that. James says water fast is a good detox. Absolutely. Angela says, can we expect 160 to 148 on Solana? Angela, I'm not sure if we're going to get there. Honestly, we could though. We very well could. I mean, because Solana's not too much above 165, I don't think. So it's possible we could have one dip. If I were you, I would set DCA orders at 160 to 165, low leverage, like 5x or less. And that way, just in case we have one more flush, then you could get those good limits because there is good support at 158. So I don't think that's a bad idea at all. Solid says, I have a friend who dry fasted for 21 days. 1 day dry fasting equals 3 days water fasting. Wow. So dry fasted. Interesting. Wow, that's very, very interesting. So yeah, it's definitely intense there. Nikolai and some Nate Belmar potions. Gotcha. Dolan, long time listening to recordings, joining live for the first time, 11:45 p.m. here. Hey, Dolan, appreciate you joining and appreciate you being a long time listener. Always appreciate my supporters, guys. Thank you so much. Mohammed, hey, CryptoData, where do you think Solana is going to top at this cycle? I think Solana will probably top around, hard to say, 300 to 500, probably 500. I know a lot of people are looking for 1,000, but maybe a little far-fetched to go that high. Let's see. Let me answer one more quick text message, guys. All right. All right. So let's see. Akshay says, thoughts on prolonged fast? I might start one next week, 7 to 10 days. Yeah, so I don't think a prolonged fast is bad. I mean, for a water fast, I think that 7 to 10 days is fine. You know, I've seen people do up to 40 plus days. And from what I've heard, I've watched a lot of interviews, and they say that the longer you fast, the more spiritual growth happens, and the more you can tap in to that realm, if you will, or the closer to God you become. I've heard that a lot for people who fast, and so it's something I wanted to try at least. But yeah, there's a lot more clarity that happens when you fast because your cells, after a day, your body goes into autophagy, which basically means it's cleaning out the bad cells, replacing them with good cells. And actually, they say if anyone who has cancer, if you fast, it's actually one of the best remedies for cancer because you're starving the cancer of glucose, sugars, what it feeds off of, right? So if your body is destroying all the bad cells and replacing them with good cells, well, it's going to destroy those cancer cells. And so, yeah, there's some doctors, some good doctors that say the first thing they do if they were told they had cancer, they would fast for 3 days. First thing they would do. So, yeah, just good for the body in general. And it's good at least, I think a 2 to 3 day fast at least once or twice a year is good for everyone because it helps cleanse out the body. Alex says, what's the price for premium? So it's going to be affordable for everyone. So I'm going to have like a weekly cost and like a monthly cost for people that just want to test it out or not. Mirza, what can we expect inside the premium group? Are you going to fully break down your trading strategy as well as answer questions about it? Yeah, so you're going to do everything. Meme coin calls, leverage coin calls, 3 to 5 live streams per week. You're going to be able to answer you guys this question, priority, QA support. Going to be also providing some good PDF files of how I research coins and how I analyze the crypto markets. And there's going to be a lot of stuff, guys. A lot of stuff's going to be on there. So stay tuned. Those are just like half the features that's going to be there. Christian, what do you think about drinking tap water and using a water purifier? You always say the best spring water from glasses. Yeah, so I say drinking spring water from glass bottles is the best, or reverse osmosis. But if all you have is a Brita water pitcher and filling that with tap water, then that's fine, right? So that's much, much better than just drinking tap water or drinking water out of plastic bottles. Like, don't do either of those things. Like, instead, drink water out of glass bottles, or you can use a Brita water pitcher or some type of water purifier with tap water, and that will be good enough. I mean, like I said, it's something's better than nothing. And then if you can only drink plastic water bottles, I mean, only do what you can, right? But at least plastic water bottle is technically better than tap water. But I need to look at the comparisons. Luca says, greet for all. What's going on, Luca? Ed says, if you need any help with the paid group, let me know. Hey, we'll do, Ed. Appreciate it, guys. SWAR, BTC, MVRV is still very low, so we're not even close to the top. Awesome, SWAR. Great indicator. Thanks for reminding me about that. Mirza says, I would love to know how you find low-cap coins to buy since you said you don't use Dex Screener for those. Yeah, Mirza, usually I'll be in different alpha groups, and so I'll look for Confluence with that. And then sometimes there'll be people who are tracking smart wallets, and they'll notify me of some good coins. So honestly, it's just in the various alpha groups that I'm in. Sparakos, I'm long in Ton, Chill Guy, Pengu, Ave. I also looking at Pepe, Doge, Bonk, Fartcoin. Any suggestions what tokens to watch these days? Yeah, so SPX is a good one. Pengu is a good one. It's been showing some good strength. Obviously, Ethereum, Solana are good ones. Hype could be a good one. And then, I don't know, Fartcoin hasn't been that strong recently. I'm waiting for it to break back above $1 to show some more strength. But yeah, those probably would be the ones. And then Ray, REI on base. And then even Codec, CODEC on Solana. Codec is one that's been gaining some traction. One of my dev friends, he's very smart. He likes it. So it's at 25 mil right now. That one could pump to 50 or 100. But again, always manage risk with these low caps. Rana says, I always listen to the voice notes completely. Awesome, Rana. See, you guys get a lot of value listening to those voice notes. Nikolai says, Portugal, bro. CR7. There you go, Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, I have to visit Portugal as well. No taxes on crypto is... All right, no, I'm thinking of Puerto Rico. Portugal, I definitely got to visit there still, though. Seems like a good place. Brome says, hey, what's going on, Bromes? Steve Vane, howdy, what's going on? Mirza, why do you expect September to be bearish if we expect rate cuts? So, Mirza, great question. So, September has historically been bearish if we look at seasonality. But you mentioned a good point. If we get rate cuts, wouldn't that make September bullish? Well, here's the thing. Everyone is front-running these rate cuts right now. So most likely when he cuts rates, it's going to be a sell the news event. I know that's reverse, it's counterintuitive, but I do think that with the accuracy of Polymarket predicting things ahead of time, and right now Polymarket's at 75-80% for the fact that Powell will cut rates, then why wouldn't you buy ahead of that, right? And then when he does cut rates, because it's still somewhat of an uncertain event, when he does cut rates, yes, there'll be a pump, but it's probably going to be a sell-off after a day or two. And you'll probably see the rest of September bleed, and then everyone be confused as to why the market's bleeding after rate cuts. And then you'll see maybe it bleed into October, and then finally those rate cuts will come into full effect, and then boom, second half of October, we're sending to Valhalla. That's why I expect. But great question, though. Great question. So maybe first half of September bullish, second half bearish. That could be more of a accurate prediction. Mirza, how much % do you sell when a token hits resistance? Talking about spot holdings. So depending, if you're spot holding, that's a little bit different than leverage trading, because leverage trading, I'll do 50% at TP1, 25% at TP2, and then 25% at TP3. But if you're holding spot, I mean, maybe 20% at the first resistance, right? It just depends how many resistance levels there are. Like if there's 3 and they're fairly spread apart, then you could do a third at each one. That'd probably be the safest. Mark says, can't wait for the premium CD. Thank you for being out our light in the world full of noise here in crypto. God bless you. Hey, God bless you, Mark. Appreciate it. And yeah, the premium is going to be great, guys. Like, I can't say enough good things about it. I'm taking the time to make sure it's good because I don't want people paying, let's just say, for a weekly subscription, and then they're not getting all of the content that they want. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure there's a lot of good content for you guys. I want to make sure I hire the right team members. They're going to help you, give some good calls, so you guys are getting the best value because there's going to be a lot of good stuff in it. Bromes, when will pump end? Not to be a bummer, but knowing both sides will be wise. Love your work, G. Hey, appreciate you, Bromes. No, it's always good, guys. It's always good to look at both sides, not just the positive, right? When is this pump going to end? That's a great question. So there's a few points on that. So the pump could end in October, okay? So October, and let me show you guys what I mean here. And let's go ahead and look at the Bitcoin chart on this other thing here. So I have this weekly trend line that has been spanning for 8 years, okay? And you can see it's marked the top of every high that we've had. Now, a difference recently was we broke above this trend line and closed above it. This was big. This is what confirmed to me that Bitcoin's going to go so much higher. Now, right now, we're still below this weekly trend line, okay? We crossed back below it, closed below it. Now we're looking to close above it. Guys, if the weekly candle closes above this 115.5K level, Bitcoin's going much, much higher, okay? So keep an eye on this weekly candle. Now, on top of that, you asked, when do I think we're topping? So if we're going off the 4-year cycle, technically that would mean we top by October, okay? Because historically, I mean, we started this run, you could say, if we zoom back here, technically in October of 2023, we really started ramping up. I mean, you could say we started in 2022, but really we started running everything October of 2023. And so 2 years in the bull market is standard, and that would mark us to top in October here. Now, the fact that I think it's different, obviously we have ETF flows, which is going to be a new metric that we didn't consider previously. You also have Sailor and Metaplanet T-WAPing into Bitcoin, so buying multiple, millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. You also have SharpLink Gaming buying millions of dollars worth of Ethereum. And so there's a lot of different factors at play now versus last cycle. Now, so the standard, this cycle is different, right? But with that said, I don't think we're going to top out in October. I think at the very least, we could top out by the end of the year. So by the end of December, I think it's possible that we top out. So if any of you guys are looking to take profits between October and December, it'd be a good time to layer out at least 50% of your profits. Now, do I think this is going to be the top? Personally, I think we're going to go an extended cycle here. I think we're going to top out in May of 2026. So I think May, most likely, we're going to top out here. And a few reasons why is just BlackRock filed for their Ethereum staking ETF. That's going to cause a ton of adoption and a ton of capital to rotate towards Ethereum because they're going to be restaking their Ethereum, earning more APY, etc. Also, you have the Trump signing into law the Genius Act, which is very bullish for Ethereum, helps increase stablecoin adoption, which is transacted on the Ethereum network, making Ethereum deflationary when it's used for gas via the EIP 1559 mechanism, yada, yada. Okay, also, you have the United States has yet to announce a strategic Bitcoin reserve accumulation plan. When they announce that, you're going to see a ton of countries flow in, right? So they already said they're going to announce it. Bo Hines, who's one of the directors for the digital assets team on the Trump administration, says that they're exploring different accumulation plans for Bitcoin via tariff savings, via gold certificates, or other means. So we already know that, okay? The U.S. has yet to announce capital gains tax cut on crypto, meaning I know that we're exploring not taxing crypto transactions less than $600 or placing no taxes on US-based cryptocurrencies. If either of those are announced, crypto's going to boom, especially if they announce no capital gains tax period in the US on crypto transactions. Then we'll really see everything launch, right? So all that to say, there's still a ton of catalysts that'll send us much, much higher. So yes, while I do think it's possible we top between October and December, I wouldn't cash out everything. I'll cash out 50%, but I wouldn't cash out everything. I would say Bitcoin 250K by May 2026. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking for the top. But always good to consider top scenarios, like you're saying. So great that you brought up that point. So thank you for that. Thank you for that, Bromes. Great question. Rastaman, great report. Hey, appreciate you, Rastaman. Always appreciate the love, guys. And I'll go over some charts and then some upcoming events, but I just want to answer a few more questions, so definitely keep them coming, guys. Again, 78 viewers, 54 likes. If we can get those likes up to 75 likes, that'd be awesome, guys. If you haven't liked the stream, definitely appreciate it if you like it. It helps the channel grow. Gonna get this channel to 100K subscribers at least by the end of the year. So would love some help from you guys as well. Karen says, yo, Data, how's it going? I hope you're all... Hey, thank you, Karen. I appreciate it. Like I said, I appreciate you guys so much, and thank you for watching. SWR, Bitcoin dominance, making a bear flag pattern on the daily time frame. I'll have to check that out as well. SWR, we would all want to see the person we become if we didn't give up now. Yes, great quote, SWR. Great quote. And that's the thing, guys, is 20 years from now, are you going to regret the things you did do or regret the things you didn't do, right? We're only on this earth for a certain amount of time. Stop worrying about what others think of you. Stop worrying about the risk that it's going to take for you to make that jump, for you to ask that person out, for you to start that business venture. You only have so much time on this planet. Might as well make the most of it. So take that risk now, because you never know what could happen. Karen says, love your work, G. Much love and appreciation for all the hard work. Awesome, Karen. I always appreciate it. As for also CD, do you do your analysis on TradingView or on BloFin Exchange? Like, there's a lot of difference in the indicators confluence. Yeah, so I do a majority on TradingView, but if I'm on BloFin Trading, then I'll probably do some on there as well. I think both is good. TradingView has a little bit more flexibility as far as setting different alerts, indicators, all that. But BloFin, you can still use different indicators as well. So both of them are good. Fernando, any thoughts of Ton and Hype? So Ton, I'm neutral on. Hype, I'm still relatively bullish on it. I don't like the underperformance it's had recently. I know that they have a big unlock in November, which is hundreds of millions of dollars worth of hype. And so keep that in mind. It's going to be a good sell the news event on there. So it could be a good shorting opportunity. But until then, we may pump. Claudio says, hey, CD, what do you look for in open interest? So open interest, great question. I look for when longs are offsides or shorts are offsides. And so basically one side that's very concentrated, right? Like say there's a lot of longs, then that's when I say, okay, we may be close to a local top, time for a pullback. Or when shorts are offsides, there's a lot of shorts and they're getting overconfident, right? It's starting to become concentrated. Then that's when I'll say, okay, we found a local bottom. So just look for whenever longs or shorts are offsides for open interest, and then you can find more positions are open for the long or short side, then okay, maybe we're going to have a reversion. Tahavzar says, what's going on with Zeus? So Zeus, I'm currently not in it just because the lack of relative strength. And here's the thing, guys. If any of you guys are in a meme coin, right? If any of you guys are in a meme coin and when the whole market's pumping, that meme coin is not doing anything, then that should be your sign to get out because the relative strength is weak. Therefore, if the whole market pumping can't even pump that coin, that shows you there's not as much interest as you thought. So it's just a little tidbit there for you. Doolin says, do not rush into trades. Wait for them to come to you. Has been a game changer for me. Learning so much from you, CD. I really appreciate it. Hey, appreciate you, Doolin. And that's the thing, guys, too, is managing your emotions is so important and waiting for those trades to come to you because people always think in their head, man, I got to FOMO in. Man, this trade, I'm going to miss it. Okay, if you miss it, what's the worst that could happen? Well, there's going to be an opportunity next time, right? You didn't lose money, though. Okay, that's the biggest thing. What if you FOMO in a trade and it reverts to the downside? You're going to say, why did I FOMO in? Oh, it was so dumb. RSI was overbought. I don't know why I bought. Guys, if you wait for the trade to come to you, wait for that RSI or stock RSI to get oversold on the 4-hour or the daily, and then you can start layering in. Wait for it to get to a major support level on the daily or weekly, then you can start layering in. But do not rush it, guys. This is why 95% of traders lose money because they don't wait. They aren't patient. They don't set limit orders. They just buy at market and hope price is going to go up. Guys, what risk is it to you to place limit orders lower? If it hits, awesome, you got a great entry. If it doesn't hit, awesome, you saved money because you didn't FOMO in, right? Like there's advantage. It's a win-win either way. There's going to be opportunities. So just look at it that way. Bayo Sports says W stream. Hey, appreciate you, Bayo. Much love, guys. Much love. Tim says, thanks, Data. Hey, no problem, Tim. Thank you. That boy Adrian says, sup, CD, late to the stream, working, though, getting this cash for crypto. That's awesome, guys. And that's the thing, too, I want to tell you guys is I always recommend having a part-time job or at least another job, part-time, full-time, in addition to trading crypto. Only go full-time crypto whenever you have a good nest egg set up. And by good nest egg, I mean at least, guys, 10 to 20K saved up in the bank. Because when you go full-time crypto, It's a little stressful at first, I'm not going to lie. Unless you have a strategy in place already, unless you're consistently profitable, which I recommend that you are before you even start, and you have a nest egg, then there's going to be less pressure on you. You're not going to be worrying about paying rent, paying your mortgage, all that, right? You're still going to be able to trade without bias and trade effectively. And also, if any of you guys are living with your parents, that's the best time as well to take risks and invest in crypto and really try to make those profits versus living on your own. So either way, just make sure you have some sort of passive income when you're trading crypto. Let's see. A lot of good question, guys. Ooh, a lot of questions. Okay, here we go. Let's see, Bayo Sports says, is that the Bitcoin one-day chart? Yes, it is, Bayo. And I'm actually going to go over that right now. 61 likes. We're getting more likes. Hey, appreciate it, guys. Much, much love to you guys. Appreciate your time for watching this. Now, for Bitcoin. Okay, where are we going from here? Well, let's go to the BloFin chart that I have. And let's go and maximize the chart here. So, you can see this 114K level acted as support. And I said, okay, 114K could be a good long area. If you want a long here, low leverage, right? And so far, it's been playing out good. But 115.6K is still resistance, guys. So keep an eye on that, right? And then 116.8K, this is when we were in our range. Remember? This is when we were chopping for a few weeks. We were in this range. I said, whichever way we break down, it's going to go a lot higher or a lot lower. We broke down to the downside, and it just crashed. And this is what you want to look for as well. Anytime you're in this range area, like you've been bouncing between a range for a couple weeks, then you know anytime the daily closes above or below a certain range, it's going to absolutely like extend its move, whether it's to the downside or to the upside. So unfortunately, it was to the downside. But like I said, good entries at 112K to 111K if you can get it. Not going to say there's no more dumps, because remember, August 8th is still 2 days away. We still could have some trickery, but I do believe Bitcoin is showing some good strength here. And 114K could be a good entry. So layer in 114K, 112, 111. And then possibly 110K is a good entry and 108K. Obviously any area lower, right? But if you just want strict entries, 114, 112, 110, 108. Just minus 2K from each, and you'll see those entries. Very good support. So, but yeah, if something tells me we may start going a lot higher from here. Now, after Bitcoin closes above, let's say it closes above the 116.8K level, I think we're going to ascend to Valhalla afterwards. I would start targeting all-time highs after that. And like I said, guys, it's not going to surprise me if we reach all-time highs by the end of this month. Like you heard it here first. Pretty sure that's going to happen. So, next, let's go over Ethereum. Okay. Also, SPX, like I said here, it's good. It bounced nicely off support around 165. So, good strength for that token. All right, let me just do one more text message. All right, so for Ethereum, remember, this is the weekly trend line I was talking about earlier as well. So Ethereum, this trend line formed from previous high. It's been rejecting off of that. Guys, once the weekly closes above this weekly trend line at 3,900, Ethereum's going to Valhalla. Ethereum's going to 4,300 at least. Like, I would take that as basically closing at 4,000, because once we get higher, it's going to be great to see. So right now, Ethereum, a great long level is 3630. And when I say that, because if you look to the left here, 3630 was a major resistance on the weekly, January of this year. So if Ethereum can close above that, very bullish, obviously good area to buy. Now, also you have 3,500, where that was a big level of resistance near July of last year. And you can see that it wicked up to 35, rejected. So could be good support, 3,500. And then finally, 3,270. You saw it was a good support level in December of last year, and then rejected in January of this year. So 3,270 is also a good one. But nonetheless, 3,630 should be good. Now, if we look at the RSI and stock RSI on Ethereum, stock RSI is still curving to the downside, which I do not like. I do not like that it's still overbought, right? That's, I I'd much rather see it down here near 50 or 60, but what can you do? I mean, the RSI is curving to the upside, so that's bullish at least. If we go to the daily chart, you can see the stock RSI was oversold, crossing to the upside, so that still could give us a couple days worth of pumps, especially because the RSI is still reset. So yeah, the daily chart looks good. The weekly chart looks like it could still cool off more, which may invite a little more chop for a few weeks, but nonetheless, I still remain tentatively bullish. And you can see on the 3630 level how we bounced here July 24th. So that's why I'm looking for it as good support. And then finally for Solana, let's go over that. All right, Solana is 168. The daily stock RSI is oversold, crossing to the upside. RSI is crossing to the upside. Solana looks pretty good. Like I said, 165, good level to long. Previous resistance here, turn support. Especially if we close the daily above it, it should be fairly bullish. Now, there'll be some resistance near 170 because we did reject off of it. But I would look for the targets of 173 and then 180 to 185. So that would be my main targets for Solana. And then below support, if it falls below 165, 153 is the next level. Since you can see here, it was resistance multiple times. So look for that to act as support. So keep an eye on that. Then finally, upcoming events. We do have the FOMC meeting that is going to happen on September 17th. So make sure you guys are watching that. Interest rate cuts are expected September 17th. And then also the Token 2049 event in Singapore. Let me know. Leave some fire emojis if any of you guys are going to the Token 2049 event. It's going to be the first week of October, October 1st and 2nd. It's going to be that entire week. And so they're holding F1 Grand Prix around that time as well. So make sure you guys do book your flights, do book your hotels early because they're going to fill up fast and you're going to see prices rise as we get closer to that date. But with that said, let's go ahead and look at some other questions. And as always, guys, if you're not following me on X at the CryptoData, definitely do so. I try to post as much good content as I can. Okay, let's see. X says, will there be some meme coin calls soon? Possibly, yes. Load some Ethereum on your Sigma wallet. If any of you guys are trading on the Sigma bot, my ref link is in the description. Also pinned in my Telegram group. Sigma is the best multi-chain bot out there. ETH, Base, AVAX. They're soon incorporating Solana as well. But yeah, I will announce some meme coin calls soon, so stay tuned. Most likely it'll be on Ethereum. Akshay says, thoughts on Estate X? No opinion on that. Karen says, good zone to long ETH and Sol. Can you please suggest some nice levels? Yep, just did that. Eswar, do you know David Lade? He did a 72-hour water fast once. I was like, damn, bro, how can he pull off something like that? Yeah, I know David Lade, the workout guy. Yeah, he's pretty good for the fitness industry. And yeah, those 72-hour water fasts, they're good. Like I said, 2 to 3 day water fast, guys. It's very possible because if you think about it, back in the primordial days when we were hunting for our food, we weren't eating food every couple hours, right? There would be some times where we go days without eating food. So just keep that in mind. Our body is built for fasting. It's built to clean out the bad cells. It's built to stay healthy and really get even more spiritually awakened during fasts. So definitely do some research on that. Nikolai says, thanks, CD, you're real. I appreciate you, Nikolai. Rana, just got to know water fast means water only. I was thinking no water as well. No, Rana. So yeah, so a water fast means you're fasting from food and you're only drinking water. Now, I need to caveat this to make sure everyone's staying healthy with this water fasting is make sure you're still getting your electrolytes, make sure you're still getting your salt, sodium content, and potassium and magnesium content because those are the minerals and vitamins that you'll need during this fast, right? You still need those, the basics, essential. So make sure you're getting your sodium, make sure you are getting your magnesium and potassium. So through vitamins or what have you, but just make sure you're getting that. James Hunt, I think Sol could hit 400 and ETH probably flips S&P this year. Yeah, I think ETH could definitely do a $6,500 to $7,000 run this year. Very possible. Stanley, to become successful in crypto, what are the fundamentals you need to know besides technical analysis? Which other websites can we gain knowledge about crypto from and how do you do it? Great question, Stanley. So if you go to my Telegram group and you actually click on the pin message and you go to the very, very first pin message that I have in my Telegram group, you'll see I have a ton of resources, literally A to Z, of best X accounts to follow, best YouTube accounts to follow, best websites to use for data analytics, best exchanges to use. I go through a plethora of information. So it's the very, very first pin message in my free Telegram group. I post a lot of alpha, a lot of good resources for you guys. So definitely get on that if you haven't and join the free Telegram group. Links in the description. And I'll also post it in the comments as well. Great question. Claudio, total 3 ETH pairs seem to have some support from the monthly and weekly EMAs. Do you think we can see recovery strength for alts from here? I do think it's possible, yes. And I'm glad you mentioned total 3. Let's actually go over total 3 real quick. For those who don't know what total 3 is the total market cap excluding the top 10 altcoins and Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and look at total 3. And also, thanks, I need to have my EMAs up as well. I've been slacking on those. 50 EMA and 200 EMA. All right, so total 3 here had some support on the daily. 50 EMA, great to see. RSI and stock RSI is looking good. Now for the weekly, again, stock RSI is resetting, which is good. This is what I want to see. It's at least crossing into the overbought area, which is great to see. And then you can even see here the weekly 50 EMA showing some good support. So that's good. Now, if we go to the 4-hour, let's see what that looks like. Ooh, 4 hours interesting. 4 hours interesting. So, yeah, so we could see, I mean, yeah, it's getting close to crossing back above the 50 EMA. So we could have some positive catalyst here. But what I like is that it bounced up the 50 EMA on the daily. So if we're drawing SR lines, let me draw some real quick for you guys. All right, so these are the main levels, and then we had a nice bounce here. All right, so for total 3, this is what I'd look at. If it gets near 950 billion, good support. And then resistance, obviously near 1 trillion, psychological resistance, but we also rejected off of here December of last year. So good levels to watch right now. Still looking good. See what I mean? There's still some room to run to the upside. So you could even say there's a trend line resistance here. Like if you want to draw that, right? So if it breaks this trend line resistance on the daily, could be very, very bullish. So something to watch there as well. But yeah, thanks for the comment on total 3 chart. Sometimes I'm so enamored with different charts that I forget the most basic ones. Super Luke says, what do you think of DCing in SPX instead of Bitcoin? I think that'd be pretty good, especially if we think Ethereum's going to outperform here. I think alts are probably going to outperform versus Bitcoin. Rana says, yeah, it feels good. I do it rarely for 36 hours. Awesome, Rana. Great to see. X, what are your targets for SUI in the next few months? Targets for SUI in the next few months. Let's see. So you can see we had a nice bounce off of 340 here. Targets for the next few months. I could probably see 430. 430 if we have a proper run. Yeah, 430 would probably be the upper target. Near term, though, I'll look to take some profits near probably 380, take a little profits, and then around 410, take a little profits. All right, let's see. Bayo says, thoughts on FART, because I like it. It's near support and one-day RSI and stock looks nice, but it's on Sol blockchain, and I think Sol will lose traction in the future with BTC and ETH outperforming. It's possible, yeah. It's very, very possible. And, I mean, but if it's near all those support levels, then I think it could still be a good bet. But again, just look at the relative strength versus Bitcoin or ETH or Sol, and if it's still performing strongly relative to those, then it may be a good bet. But if not, then it may have lost its strength. Karen says, good zone long ETH and Sol. Can you please suggest some nice levels? Yeah, Karen, I went over that earlier. ETH 3630, 3500, Sol 165 and 153. Salah, yeah, my buddy Trevor only fasts for spiritual insight now. He's already fasted away all the health issues he had. It's all about the prep, break protocols for prolonged fast. Exactly. The prep is the most important. I like you said that. Making sure you're getting your vitamins, your salt, your electrolytes, and then whenever you refeed, i.e. you break your fast and you start eating again, you need to do it slowly. So like just slowly drink some water with lemon, then 30 minutes later have some chicken broth, and then maybe a couple hours later having some watermelon or something. Like prolonged fasts, the refeed is the most important, so your body doesn't just go shut down. Steve Ain says, here's my money, where do I sign? Appreciate it, Steve Ain. Soon. I'll definitely link it in my Telegram group, and I'll announce it on my YouTube as well. So make sure you guys are in my free Telegram group. Links in the description, and I'll post all the good content there. Not in use. I have the highest respect for you because you tell it like it is, and you're not afraid to say what's on your mind, even if it may not be received well. Appreciate that, not in use. And that's the thing too, guys, is we're so worried. Like in this society that's all about cancel culture and everyone being offended. Honestly, like I love everyone. I don't care your orientation. I don't care what you believe in. Like I like everyone, and it's all about respecting one another. And so if you're not free to openly talk about what's on your mind, then what are you free to talk about, right? And so I like to share, in my opinion, what is the best information and what has done good for me based on my own experience. Everyone's different. I'm not saying that all my stuff is right. I'm just saying from my experience what's worked. And in general, just having a positive mindset is so contagious and so important. I believe spreading positivity in this world is the best that anyone could do, because 99% of people are good on this earth, right? There's only that 1% that get promoted on the mainstream media, get promoted on these random TikToks that really give everyone else a bad name. Most people in the world are good, guys. So don't think that the world's bad. If you just visit other countries, you know. But just spread positivity, help others out, never bully anyone. Like, just be the person that stands up for others. And so that's how we become a better society. And I try to spread that through health, through crypto. I tell people like it is. Not everyone's going to be profitable right away. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of work, right? But if you practice proper risk management and you practice living a healthy lifestyle, it's going to help and make it that much easier. So appreciate that, not in use. Much love, guys. Much love. Neil says, sat on top of Alpe d'Huez in the Alps. Cycled it today. Looking forward to premium. Will you have full leverage call breakdown, including your stop loss, etc.? First of all, Neil, that's awesome. That sounds like a great time in the Alps. I actually rode motorcycle. I took a motorcycle trip with my dad, grandpa, and cousin. We went over to the Ozarks. So that was, oh gosh, that was probably 7-8 years ago or more. But yeah, I love riding, cycling, all that's awesome, being one with nature. It's very, very important. And as far as the premium group, yes, I'm going to have leverage calls fully broken down, take profit levels and stop loss levels, the whole 9. So I'm going to have even altcoin calls as well, not just meme coin and leverage calls. I'm going to have altcoin calls as well. So it's going to be the whole smorgasbord. And I'm also going to have emergency live streams where just between the 3 to 4 live streams, I'll have some where if some big event happens, I'll live stream right away. So you guys are going to have that benefit as well. So I'm going to be as available as possible in the paid group, guys. Like, I'm going to try to be as available as possible. Also going to have a team with me. It's going to help answer questions, make some calls of their own. So you're going to get a lot of content. Like, it's going to be insane. Alexander, what do you think about tap water from Swiss? See, that's the thing too, right? So tap water, I say it's bad. I say it's best to drink, spring water in glass bottles or reverse osmosis. But if it's from a good place and the tap water is legitimately healthy, like, the tap water is not bad. Okay. I know that RFK Jr. was talking about removing fluoride from the tap water, and that would make it healthier. And so, yeah, like, if your tap water is good, sure, drink it, right? Like, I mean, it's not going to kill you at the end of the day, knock on wood, but just be cognizant of where you're at and the quality of the tap water. Marisa says, which alpha groups are you in that you use for tracking meme coin calls? They're ones that are invite only, so you have to provide value, and through time, through my networking, I've been able to get in these alpha groups, but I provide a lot of value in there. Mirza says, by the way, I managed to get in on Troll at around 50 mil market cap, little flex. Oh, that's amazing, Mirza. For anyone who doesn't know, Troll is on Solana. It went up to over 170 million. Mirza, you must be sitting very pretty right now. That's an awesome entry. Congrats on that. Sprock goes, about filter on tap water, you need to filter to be also for chlorium. Otherwise, it will affect you very bad. Sprock goes, great point there. Make sure your filter is filtering the right stuff. Julius, will you take profits in August to buy the dip in September? So I'm not going to try to time it as much, honestly, but I will be, yeah, still taking some profits, of course, 100%. Super Luke says, do you still bet on August 8th? I do. And thank you for mentioning that, Super Luke. Let's go ahead and cover why I'm so bullish on August 8th for anyone who may not know or forgot. So if you go to my X account at the CryptoData, I post about some bullish catalysts that we have for August 8th. I posted Fed Governor Kugler is resigning August 8th, which will give Trump the opportunity to shape the central bank. This will cause a nice catalyst afterwards. August was also historically bullish, 2013, 17, 2020, and also 2021. We also had a similar crash August 2024 due to the Japan carry trade, which was on August 5th, before having a massive pump on August 8th. And then the next full moon is August 9th, historically bullish. And then August 8th is also a major player in numerology, like I was mentioning. 8-8, a period of heightened energy for manifestation and spiritual growth, i.e. the Lions Gate is also opening. And on top of that, you also had a 70% chance that Powell will cut interest rates in September via polymarket, which this is going to get front ran. And so a lot of stuff is lining up, guys. I posted BTC buy areas. If you got in 114K from this post, you'd have been sitting pretty right now. But I posted everything here. So if you guys aren't following me again on X at the CryptoData, definitely do so. But that's one of the reasons why I'm so bullish on August 8th. Again, plus or minus a day, right? It doesn't have to be exactly on it, but fairly soon we're about to send to Valhalla. Let's see what else we got here. All right. A lot of good questions, guys. Sprocko says, thank you about your suggestion. You give so much knowledge for free. I can't wait for your close group to be open. Hey, appreciate that, Sprocko. Like I said, try to do what I can, right? And I know some people can't afford a paid group. That's why I still have my free group open and why I still give these weekly live streams is because I want everyone to get this information. I'm not trying to gatekeep. I'm not trying to, be greedy per se. Like, everyone's getting info. So if you can't afford it, fine. I still give you this. If you can't afford it, awesome. I provide more calls and more stuff in there, right? Just whatever you want to get. Raphael says, have you had a look at some of the coins on KRC20 Caspa ecosystem? Also, what do you think about Nacho? I think it has potential because Cas is a strong performer and Nacho is the first mover on it. Funny you mentioned Nacho. I was actually mining that. You could say farming that, minting that actually, whenever it came out early on. And made some money on it, but I haven't looked too much on the Caspa ecosystem, honestly. I don't know. I still need to look, so I can't even provide an opinion on it, honestly. But Caspa is a good token, so it could have some promise. Adam says, thanks for your effort. Please, which strategy you're using and tools you're using when you do your market analysis. Yeah, so I'm using the RSI, the stock RSI, the 50 EMA, and the 200 EMA. So those are the top indicators that I use. And I also use... I'm getting some water real quick. I also use support and resistance levels on the daily or weekly time frames. So if you can combine those together on top of liquidation data, heat map data, sentiment data, then it helps you to determine when the bottom or top is going to be. X says, so will the first half of October be bullish or bearish? Probably bearish. Pollo Loco, do you believe the 4-year cycles are now over? It's possible, yes, it's possible. Just considering the ETF flows, institutions, all that other stuff. Claudio, where do you think BTCD goes from here? Ooh, good question. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance real quick. And we're actually going over our hour for the live stream, so I'm still going to answer the question. So again, make sure that you guys are liking the stream if you like it. It really helps spread it. Going over time for you guys. I want to make sure you guys have all of your questions answered. But as far as Bitcoin dominance, let's see. So for the weekly, let's see. So it bounced off the 50 EMA. Ooh, interesting. The stock RSI is oversold, crossing to the upside. So interesting here, guys. We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see if we actually what happens here, right? If Bitcoin dominance rises, let's look at the daily. So the daily stock RSI is curving to the downside. So still possible that we reject all the way down. I'd be looking for 60.5%. And then if we're talking about at the end of this bull market, I mean, you can see just how many times ETH rose versus Bitcoin whenever Bitcoin dominance topped, right? So here, when it topped in September 2019, ETH rose 136% versus Bitcoin. In 2021, major alt season happened when Bitcoin dominance rejected. ETH rose 77% over the next month, and then 150% over 8 months, and then 60% on this rejection here. So with that said, you can imagine ETH has risen a lot already from June 16th to now versus Bitcoin. But the big thing is going to be if we can break below this 50 weekly EMA. If we can break below this, that's going to be a big level to watch. So yeah, if we break below that and we start going from 60.4 to 57.8%, alts are going to absolutely send. And then the next major support I'd look at would be the 200 EMA at 55%. All right, let's see what else we got for questions. Whoops. Let me put the questions back up. All right. Fernando, any thoughts on Aerodrome Finance? No thoughts on that personally. I'm more bullish on Ray, REI on base. Super Luke, sell in May and go away, classic. Yeah, right? Most Low says, then would you also suggest TV 50% of alts around Q4, October, December, and it's a top out around 1 month after May 2026? Yeah, I would recommend TPing at least 50% in Q4. Finance Compass, what do you think about Prove Succinct, the new token that dropped? Prove has been crazy. Listed on Coinbase, listed on Upbit. It's gotten a lot of adoption recently. I haven't looked into it too much, but the performance has been very impressive. But anything that gets that much attention that early on has got to be some type of insider play. It's got to be a lot of supporters from behind the scenes. Rana says, do you use Ultimate Plan for TradingView? Just curious. Yeah, I do. I use the premium plan for TradingView. It's around $600 a year, but if you get it near Black Friday around Thanksgiving, then it's around 50%, 60% off. Eswar, what do you think of grid trading? Also, why is virtual beacon live streaming with no title of why Bitcoin 4-year cycle doesn't work anymore? That's funny. I don't know why virtual beacon is streaming with no title, but yeah, I think he's basically mentioning that why this will be an extended cycle because there's different metrics at play now. And then grid trading, it's not a bad strategy. I think there's like trend trading, mean reversion trading, and grid trading are all good strategies for their own specific purpose, right? I'd say using all strategies is good. Claudio, in regards to the open interest question, what do you mean by offsides? Offsides, I mean there's way too much longs opened on one side or way too many shorts open on one side. Eswar, we can all agree that trading investment taught us more about patience than any person. Exactly. Trading will test you emotionally more than anything. Brome says, thanks for the great explanation. Love your work, Jigan. Hey, love you, Brome. Appreciate it. David, thoughts on TRX? So TRX was actually performing fairly well just a week ago. It's actually still performing well. Look at that weekly. That weekly is an insane, just multiple green candles. Justin Sun is definitely doing something right at Tron. And there's a lot of stablecoin volume as well. Yeah, Tron, man, Tron has been impressive. It's an insane token, guys. Yeah. What can I say about Tron? Tron's bullish. Tron's bullish straight up. If you can get an entry near 32 cents, that'd be a great entry. And then near the 50 EMA, maybe. It's not respected as much here. So I would say 32 cents and then possibly 30 cents. If you can get it near 30 cents, that'd be good as well. But yeah, the RSI, stock RSI is still looking good. The weekly is looking overbought, but at the same time, we could still have a few more days of pumping. So yeah, Tron, I'd wait to buy at 32 cents, but it's very bullish. What else we got? Dat Boy said, selling my car for more ETH. That's funny. Quizmonk, CD, what do you think of a funded account to grow more capital? Have you ever had one? No, so if you're talking about a funded account, if you're talking about trading for someone else, like a prop firm, I wouldn't recommend that. Puts too much pressure on you. But yeah, if you're talking about a funded account, like people are giving you money and you're trading for them, I still wouldn't recommend that either because there's too much pressure and you basically feel like you can't take any risk at that point. So no, I wouldn't do funded accounts. I would just trade with your own money and only trade with money you can afford to lose, guys. Don't be trading with like taking out loans or maxing out your credit cards to buy more Bitcoin. Like don't do that. Don't do that. If you have a part-time job, which everyone should, if they're trading crypto as well, is just take out like 10% of your pay every couple weeks or every month and just put that into crypto, right? Discretionary income that you can afford to lose. Marco, why do you look forward on August 8th? Yep, just explained that earlier. Look on my X account for my latest post. You'll see all the reasons I posted about August 8th. Philip, 2 questions. Number 1, what does your bedtime routine look like? 2, how do you DCA in terms of percentage as well? Is it 50, 50, 20, 50, 25, 25 like TPs, or what percentage do you set in the buy box? Great questions, Philip. So 1, what's my bedtime routine look like? So an hour before bed, I put on blue light blocker glasses. I recommend everyone get blue light blocker glasses. The amber tint as well. So like for the lenses, make sure they're amber tinted. So like they're orange basically. And I have some ANWICK and I have the amber glasses. They look good as well. But basically what they do is they block out the blue light so that your body has time to wind down and it doesn't affect your REM sleep. Because if you guys are on your phone up until the moment of going to bed or on the computer up until the moment of going to bed, your REM sleep is going to be so messed up. You're going to wake up groggy. You're not going to get a deep sleep. But if you have blue light blockers on, those glasses, and at least an hour prior, your body is going to give time to reset. It's going to give the signal to, hey, let's wind down. Let's get ready for bed. And then you're going to be able to go to sleep easier and stay in a deep sleep. Also, make sure that you have warm lights on. So like night focus for your phone and computer, like night care, eye care, whatever those settings are called, to make sure that your computer winds down as well and sets a warmer tone. But that's my thing for that. I'll drink a little water. Obviously, you don't want to drink water too close to bed because you'll wake up in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom. But yeah, I'll do that. Sometimes I'll read to wind down as well. So either reading a book or that. But that's usually my nighttime routine. And then I'll turn the air down to 70 degrees, 69, 70 degrees for the AC. The colder it is, the better because you get a deeper sleep. But yeah, I also don't eat within 3 hours before bed, because if you're eating right before bed, your body is digesting instead of getting into a deep sleep. So make sure you guys are having the right nighttime routine. Make sure you're eating no more than 3 hours before bed, and no less than 3 hours before bed. And then also try to drink water no less than 2 hours before bed. So, and then as far as DCAing in terms of percentages, yeah, so I would do something like that, like the 50%, 25-25, because you want to get a majority in at the entry, and then obviously DCA lower just in case price goes a little bit lower. So yeah, that's a good strategy as well. Adam, he said that multiple times till now. Let's see. X says, you just solved all my problems in crypto with a few sentences about FOMO. Appreciate that, X. Akshay says, if tariffs go into effect from tomorrow, will there be another pullback? There could be, right? That could be the big pullback before we rip. Very possible, Akshay. Pedram, love these live streams. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, appreciate you, Pedram. Much love. Alexander, better stock or crypto to trade? Stocks are for more safety. Crypto, a little more risky, but the returns are higher. So if I had to choose one right now where we're at in the cycle, I would choose crypto. I think stocks are going to top out pretty soon. Claudio, do you supplement? I've been supplementing for all minerals and vitamin deficiencies. Yes, I do supplement. Just a quick rundown of my supplements. So I take creatine in the morning, creatine monohydrate with Creapure. It's very, very good for muscle recovery, muscle building, protein, like all that good stuff. And then also I will supplement with vitamin D, glucosamine chondroitin for joints, fish oil, a multivitamin with, again, you gotta make sure your multivitamin has the best type of vitamin in each, because there's different qualities, for example, of magnesium, right? You wanna make sure you're taking magnesium glycinate. That's gonna be absorbed by the body the most versus magnesium citrate or magnesium oxide. Like that's the lowest bioavailable form. Anytime you're taking vitamins, guys, just because the vitamin is cheap doesn't mean it's good. Like, make sure it's the highest quality. So, yeah, magnesium glycinate I take. And then also I'll take zinc. Zinc is good for testosterone. And what else? Sometimes I'll take vitamin C. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So, but vitamin D is probably one of the most important vitamins to get. 5 to 10,000 IUs per day. Make sure you're getting sun as well. 10 minutes of sun a day. It's good for the body. Resets your circadian rhythm first thing in the morning when you wake up. So, but yeah, I definitely supplement. Marco, why are you looking forward to August 8th? Yep, just mentioned that, Marco. Alexander, recommendation for some trading books. So, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. That's a great book. Let's see. And then also Psychology of Money is a good book as well. Mirza, let's see. We also didn't get to eat meat all the time as well, by the way. Do some research on veganism if you're interested, bro. Yeah, there you go, right? I mean, there's all kinds of different things back in the day we didn't do like we do now. So definitely good points. Mirza says only 1% of people on Earth are vegan, yet there's so many super athletes who are vegan. Interesting. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I don't think Arnold was vegan, but I'll have to look that up. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, just, again, if you're vegan, make sure you're getting all the nutrients, all the protein you need, all the best, because meat has benefits as well. So, again, at the end of the day, everyone always do their research right to find what works best for you. Dat Boy said Trump coin, not as bullish on Trump coin. It hasn't been performing as well. John says, I do 3 days without food every week during Ramadan, but I do drink water and coffee throughout the day, and I've noticed I perform better during my fast. Awesome. Great to see you guys. Adam says, Sol 4-hour RSI starting to curve down. Interesting, may have a little pullback. Sir Tibbsy, wait, what? We're doing star signs now? Hey, always surprising you, Tibbsy. Always stay on guard. You never know what I'm going to talk about next. Ed, what do you prefer, CAS or KTA? I prefer KTA. Super Luke, will you make less free content when the paid group will come out? I'll still make content for the free group, but a lot of my time is going to be on the paid group. So obviously I'm going to have more attention towards them, but I should still have more or less the same content in the free group. It'll just be much more amplified in the paid. I'm talking like 5-10x more. Audie says, good entry for Ray. I'll have to look at Ray actually. If you can buy it near 200 mil or to 180 to 200, it may not be a bad entry. Let me actually look because I don't want to tell you bad. Let's see. Let me real quick open the Ray chart. It's on my other screen. So for Ray, Here, I'll pull it up here. Okay, here's the raid chart. So yeah, 190 mil isn't a bad area. And then also 155 mil, if you can get there. All right, Alexander, super good question. Let's see, Bromes, could you look at the hype real quick? All right, gonna look at that, and then I'm gonna have to go, guys. I'm gonna have to go soon. I'll answer the rest of the questions, but getting an hour and a half into the stream here. So appreciate if you guys could like the stream. Be awesome, guys. Helps grow my channel a lot. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm gonna start making more videos soon. But for hype, yeah, hype's kind of in the middle of nowhere. I would look long near 35.80 if it gets there. Resistance right now is about $39, and the major resistance is going to be near this $41 to $43 level. So, but yeah, RSI doesn't look too bad on the weekly. Actually, RSI and stock RSI are looking fairly good on the weekly. And then on the daily, yeah, stock RSI is starting to curve up. RSI pretty much neutral. So yeah, I would say wait for 35.80 for hype. Super Luke, what coin has the lowest fees for transferring like Sol, TRX used to be? So I would say Arbitrum. Arbitrum or Base have low fees. Nyko says, any thoughts on Ink Chain? Some new tokens are getting some traction. No thoughts on that. Actually, haven't been on Ink Chain, so I'll have to look that up. Mirza says, I had a nice position in Tron right before the big uptrend started, but sold because people on Twitter were calling Justin Sun a scammer and Tron a scam chain. One of my biggest mistakes so far, FUD me. Yeah, you gotta form your own thesis and have your own conviction. A lot of times people can FUD you out of your own position, but if it's a valid thesis, then stick with it. Fernando, any good low caps? Kodak may be a good one. It's 25 mil. CODEC on Solana. Sala, is it lagging for anyone else or just me lagging? Ah, Mike was chopping in and out. Lagging bad. Uh-oh. Alexander says, this is my routine. Waking up at 6 a.m. cold shower and out for a 15-minute walk. Then I make tea and sit on PC looking charts and learning. Then on work from 8 to 20. Come home, want to do more but can't. Hey, that's a good routine there. Oh, yeah. I wonder if you guys are still lagging right now. Mohammed says, whoever's lagging, get off and then come back. There you go. Mirza, you should definitely look into CMOS as far as supplements go. It has a 92 out of 102 minerals. I'll definitely check that out, Mirza. I appreciate it. Alexander, what can I do to not be so dead? Get some sunlight, meditate, pray, work out. Make sure your diet's on point. Stay away from junk foods, from sodas. Drink a lot of water. Eat healthy, eat organic food, eat enough fruits. What else? Yeah, pretty much it. Get enough sleep as well. That's probably the biggest. 7 to 8 hours plus of sleep per night. Go to sleep at the same time, wake up at the same time. Helps reset your circadian rhythm. Finance Compass, data from August 8 till rate cuts. Do you think we go bullish? Yeah, I think pretty much be pretty bullish for the rest of August. Sala got off and come back and it's working out. Awesome. Mirza says Arnold Schwarzenegger is indeed vegan. He considers himself 99% vegan as he still eats eggs daily. Interesting. I just meant during his workout, during his bodybuilding days. I don't think he was vegan during then, but during now is interesting though. Mirza, thank you for the great stream. Patiently waiting for your group. Awesome, Mirza. Thank you so much. Julius, in Telegram you called Tom the Lizard. Why not just Lizard? That one is bigger. I'm in both now, but why you picked the smaller one from MC? Because at the time the smaller one just came out, and I thought there'd be a lot of potential with it. But yeah, Lizard's doing great as well. Sala, I was fruitarian until I watched the documentary Veganism, Epitome of Malnourishment. Living in Costa Rica and seeing every long-term vegan look worse every year sealed the deal for me. Yeah, watch the pros and cons, guys, of everything, right? Of veganism, of a carnivore diet, of all that. Like, each has their own pros and cons, so definitely check it out. Taylor, hey CD, no comment, but appreciate your work. Hey, appreciate you, Taylor. John, if RSI is on 50 and stock is oversold, could I place a long, or does both have to be oversold or vice versa for shorting? No, so one can be oversold, and RSI is 50, that's good enough for a long. So both is just icing on the cake. Sir Tibbsy, but you seem like a rationalist with your interest in biohacking and deep research and analysis of coins and markets, but then you throw in star signs. It seems like such a juxtaposition. So Sir Tibbsy, here's the thing, right? And I like the discussion here is, again, I like to have an open mind. And having an open mind goes with considering all possibilities. And yes, I'm very much into being rational, biohacking, deep research, and analysis. But again, I'm not going to completely throw something out just because I don't understand it. So that could be something similar to where, why do you believe in God if you can't see him? Or why do you believe in Jesus if, you know, there's other reasons, right? But like sometimes you just have to believe, or sometimes you have to consider things. And obviously having faith you know, in the Bible, very, very important, right? And there's obviously proof there. But just all that to say is there are things that we don't understand in the world necessarily. Like, for example, if you were, you know, back in the day and you were given a phone, and with that phone, you talked to someone who's hundreds of miles away, you would have thought, this is magic. How is this possible? Because you didn't see the different, you know, the radio waves and the different, you know, cell phone signals and the towers and all that, right? Even with satellite's crazy. But since we've developed it over time, we understand how they work. But at the time, you know, even 300 years ago, you'd be thinking it's magic and sorcery. And so some things happen which we may not understand, and they dive into the quantum realm. And that's something about manifestation is very, very big as well. It's honestly, there's still much to this world that we don't understand. And so I never rule anything out, and I always have an open mind. And that's why I talked about the numerology, right? Not necessarily because I believe it, but just because there's a lot of people who swear by it. And I'm not going to automatically discount something because I don't understand it or I don't believe in it or I haven't researched it enough. I always research something, and if it works for other people, why not? Why not give it a consideration, right? So not going to say I'm going to go all in, but why not just give it a look just in case? Ash K says, heard about Solana secret phones? Yes, I did. I actually ordered one way back in the day. So those are getting shipped as well. Thanks for reminding me. Dreamer says, appreciate your time today. Appreciate you, Dreamer. John, much love as always. Appreciate your streams, JL. Stay blessed. Awesome, guys. Well, that does it with the questions. Again, 70 likes. Appreciate all the likes, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please join the free Telegram group if you haven't. Links in the description. Follow me on X if you haven't, at the CryptoData. Love you guys so much. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and I'll keep you guys updated along the way. Talk soon, guys. See ya.